Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The question before us is profound. What does it mean to build your future? It's a question that is both deeply personal and universally significant. To build your future is to take responsibility for the person you are today and for the person you aim to become tomorrow. We are not static beings. Each of us is a work in progress, and the trajectory of that progress is determined by the choices we make in the present moment. Think about that for a moment. Every action you take, no matter how small, reverberates into the future. Building your future begins with clarity of vision. You cannot move towards something you cannot see. If you don't define your aim, life will do it for you, and often in ways you won't like. Take time to reflect deeply on what you want. Not just shallow desires or fleeting pleasures, but the kind of life that would make you proud to have lived. Once you have that vision, you must confront an uncomfortable truth: it will not build itself. The life you want demands effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to face chaos. And chaos will come. It's the natural state of the world. But it is in confronting chaos that we find the raw material to create order. Order, however, is not handed to you, it is forged. You must take the tools at your disposal, your mind, your skills, your resilience, and build something meaningful. That starts with discipline. Wake up early, make your bed. Do the hard thing even when you don't feel like it. These acts may seem trivial, but they're not. They're bricks in the foundation of your future. But discipline alone is not enough. You must also embrace courage. The path to a better future is fraught with uncertainty and risk. You will stumble, you will fail. And that's good, because failure is the crucible in which strength and wisdom are formed. Learn from your failures. Let them shape you, not break you. And as you build, remember that you're not just creating a future for yourself. You're shaping the future of those around you, your family, your friends, your community. Your actions ripple outward. A life well lived is a beacon, illuminating the way for others. Building your future is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. It's the accumulation of small, consistent actions aligned with a greater purpose. It's about standing up, dusting yourself off, and trying again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. So I urge you, take responsibility for your life. Define your goals, face your fears. Build something that matters. Because the alternative to drift aimlessly, to abdicate responsibility, is to surrender the extraordinary potential within you. You are capable of more than you know. The future is waiting to be built, and you are the architect. Building your future begins with defining your vision, the cornerstone of all meaningful progress. Without a clear understanding of where you are heading, your efforts risk becoming fragmented, your energy scattered, and your potential unrealized. Vision is not merely a vague dream or a wishful thought. It is a focused and intentional understanding of what you want your life to become. It is both the destination you aim to reach and the roadmap that guides you along the way. This is why defining your vision is so crucial. It provides the clarity needed to align your actions with your aspirations. When we fail to articulate our vision, we become susceptible to the forces of randomness and external pressures. Life is full of distractions, many of which can appear meaningful or urgent, but are, in fact, obstacles disguised as opportunities. Without a clear vision, it becomes easy to say yes to things that pull you away from your path. But with a well-defined vision, you gain the ability to discern what truly matters. You can filter out the noise, focusing instead on the actions and commitments that bring you closer to your goals. To define your vision, you must first confront a fundamental question: what kind of life do you want to live? This is not an easy question to answer, and it requires a willingness to look inward with honesty and courage. Many people avoid this introspection because it forces them to confront their limitations, insecurities, and fears. But without this self-reflection, your vision will lack authenticity. It will be shaped by the expectations of others rather than your own deepest desires. Vision is personal. It cannot be borrowed or copied from someone else. While it is tempting to model your aspirations after those of successful individuals you admire, true vision must come from within. It must resonate with your values, your talents, and your unique circumstances. Defining your vision is an act of self-discovery, requiring you to explore your strengths, confront your weaknesses, and identify what gives your life meaning. This process takes time, patience, and an openness to change. A clear vision is not just about imagining the end result, it's about understanding the journey as well. Many people make the mistake of focusing solely on the outcome, wealth, recognition, or achievement, without considering the path they must take to get there. But a meaningful vision encompasses more than material success. It reflects the kind of person you want to become in the process. It challenges you to align your actions with your principles and to strive for growth that is both external and internal. Your vision should be ambitious yet realistic. It should stretch you, pushing you beyond your comfort zone, but it should also be grounded in the reality of your current circumstances. This balance is critical. If your vision is too small, it will fail to inspire you. If it is too grandiose, it will feel unattainable, leading to frustration and disengagement. The key is to find a goal that is challenging enough to ignite your passion while remaining achievable through effort and determination. Clarity of vision also requires specificity. It's not enough to say, "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy." These statements are too broad and lack actionable focus. A well-defined vision breaks down abstract concepts into concrete objectives. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," you might define success as building a business that provides value to your community. Instead of saying, "I want to be happy," you might identify specific habits or relationships that bring you joy and fulfillment. Articulating your vision in detail gives it power. The more vividly you can imagine your future, the more real it becomes. Visualization is a powerful tool because it engages your mind on multiple levels, allowing you to see, feel, and experience the life you want to create. When you can picture your vision with clarity, it becomes a source of motivation, reminding you of why you're putting in the effort and enduring the challenges along the way. Once you have defined your vision, it must become a part of your daily consciousness. A vision is not a static idea to be revisited sporadically. It is a living concept that evolves as you grow. Keeping your vision front and center ensures that it continues to guide your decisions and actions. This might mean writing it down, creating a vision board, or regularly reflecting on it through journaling or meditation. Whatever method you choose, the goal is to keep your vision alive and active in your mind. Defining your vision also requires you to confront the obstacles that stand in your way. These obstacles may be external: lack of resources, time constraints, or unforeseen challenges, or they may be internal, such as self-doubt, fear of failure, or procrastination. Recognizing these barriers is essential because it allows you to prepare for them and develop strategies to overcome them. A well-defined vision is not an idealized fantasy. It acknowledges the difficulties and uncertainties of the journey while remaining committed to the ultimate goal. Clarity of vision brings a sense of purpose to your life. When you know where you're going, you wake up each day with a reason to act. This sense of purpose is a powerful motivator, helping you to stay focused even when the path becomes difficult. It reminds you that your efforts are not in vain, that every small step you take is bringing you closer to the future you desire. Purpose gives you resilience, allowing you to persevere through setbacks and challenges. In defining your vision, it's important to remember that it is not fixed or unchangeable. Life is dynamic, and your vision should be too. As you gain new experiences, acquire new knowledge, and develop new perspectives, your vision may shift. This is not a sign of failure or inconsistency. It is a natural part of growth. The key is to remain adaptable while staying true to your core values and principles. Vision is not just about what you want to achieve, it's about why you want to achieve it. Understanding the deeper motivations behind your goals gives them meaning and depth. Ask yourself, why does this matter to me? How will achieving this vision impact my life and the lives of others? These questions help you to connect your vision to a broader purpose, giving it the emotional and moral weight needed to sustain your commitment. Taking responsibility is the foundation upon which any meaningful future is built. At its core, responsibility is the act of acknowledging that your actions, decisions, and choices shape your life. It means understanding that the circumstances you face, whether favorable or challenging, are not entirely beyond your control. taking responsibility is not about blaming yourself for every setback or misfortune, but rather recognizing the power you have to respond to these situations with agency and purpose. This understanding is transformative because it places the focus squarely on what you can do to influence your reality. When you take responsibility, you move from being a passive observer in your own life to an active participant. It's easy to fall into the trap of victimhood, where external factors are blamed for all that goes wrong. While external circumstances certainly play a role, relying solely on them as explanations for your outcomes limits your ability to grow. Responsibility shifts the narrative. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What can I do about this?" This subtle but profound shift in perspective opens the door to solutions, growth, and empowerment. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the cornerstone of personal growth and the key to transforming potential into achievement. Without discipline, even the most ambitious goals and clearest visions remain little more than distant dreams. Discipline is the force that transforms intention into action and action into consistent effort over time. It is not an innate trait that some possess and others lack. It is a skill that can be cultivated, honed, and strengthened through practice and commitment. At its essence, discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. This is where many people falter because human nature tends to seek comfort, ease, and instant gratification. Discipline requires you to act against these impulses, choosing long-term benefit over immediate pleasure. This is not a natural or easy process. It is something you must train yourself to do, often through deliberate effort and repetition. The good news is that each act of discipline builds upon the last, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces your ability to stay committed. Discipline begins with small, consistent actions. It is not about making drastic changes overnight or attempting to tackle every challenge at once. Instead, it is about identifying manageable steps that align with your larger goals and committing to them daily. These steps might seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they accumulate into significant progress. For example, waking up at the same time every day, dedicating a few minutes to focused work, or committing to a regular exercise routine might not feel transformative in the moment, but these habits lay the foundation for long-term success. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to create momentum. When you consistently take small actions, you begin to see results, and those results motivate you to continue. This momentum makes it easier to maintain discipline, even when the initial enthusiasm wanes. Over time, discipline becomes a habit, a natural part of your routine that requires less conscious effort. This is why starting small is so important. It allows you to build confidence and develop the skills needed to tackle more significant challenges. Discipline also involves the ability to delay gratification. This means resisting the temptation to seek immediate rewards in favor of pursuing long-term benefits. Delaying gratification is one of the most challenging aspects of discipline because it requires you to override your natural impulses. However, it is also one of the most rewarding. The ability to delay gratification is a hallmark of successful individuals, as it enables them to invest in their future rather than being swayed by short-term desires. One of the keys to cultivating discipline is creating a structured environment. Your surroundings play a significant role in shaping your behavior, and by designing an environment that supports your goals, you make it easier to stay disciplined. This might involve removing distractions, setting up a dedicated workspace, or surrounding yourself with people who encourage and inspire you. A well-structured environment reduces the need for constant willpower by making it easier to focus on what matters most. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about persistence. There will be times when you falter, miss a step, or fall short of your expectations. These moments are inevitable, but they do not define your journey. What matters is how you respond to them. Discipline requires you to get back on track after setbacks, learning from your mistakes and using them as opportunities for growth. This resilience is a critical component of discipline because it ensures that temporary failures do not derail your progress. Another essential aspect of discipline is self-awareness. To cultivate discipline, you must understand your own patterns, triggers, and tendencies. This involves recognizing the situations or emotions that lead you to abandon your commitments and developing strategies to counteract them. For example, if you tend to procrastinate when faced with overwhelming tasks, you might break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. If you find it difficult to stay motivated, you might remind yourself of your larger goals and the reasons behind them. self-awareness allows you to anticipate challenges and address them proactively, making it easier to stay disciplined. Discipline is also deeply connected to self-respect. When you commit to a goal and follow through, you demonstrate respect for yourself and your abilities. This self-respect reinforces your belief in your capacity to achieve what you set out to do. Conversely, when you break promises to yourself, you erode your confidence and create a cycle of self-doubt. This is why keeping even the smallest commitments is so important. It builds trust in yourself and strengthens your discipline over time. A critical component of discipline is the ability to prioritize. In today's fast-paced world, there is no shortage of demands on your time and attention. Discipline requires you to identify what is truly important and to allocate your resources accordingly. This might mean saying no to distractions, setting boundaries, or focusing on one task at a time rather than trying to do everything at once. Prioritization ensures that your efforts are directed toward the actions that have the greatest impact, maximizing your progress and minimizing wasted energy. Discipline also involves managing your emotions. It is natural to experience frustration, boredom, or discouragement when working toward long-term goals. These emotions can easily derail your progress if left unchecked. Discipline requires you to acknowledge these feelings without allowing them to dictate your actions. This might involve developing strategies to cope with negative emotions, such as practicing mindfulness, seeking support from others, or reminding yourself of your larger purpose. By managing your emotions effectively, you maintain your focus and resilience, even in the face of challenges. Another important aspect of discipline is adaptability. While discipline involves staying committed to your goals, it also requires flexibility in how you achieve them. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in ways that force you to adjust your plans. Discipline allows you to adapt to these changes without losing sight of your objectives. This might mean finding alternative solutions, reevaluating your approach, or adjusting your timeline. Adaptability ensures that you remain disciplined in the face of uncertainty, using challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Discipline is not something you cultivate in isolation. It is often influenced by the people and environments around you. Surrounding yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals can strengthen your discipline by providing encouragement, accountability, and inspiration. Conversely, negative influences can undermine your efforts and make it more difficult to stay committed. This is why it is important to be intentional about the relationships and environments you choose, seeking out those that align with your values and goals. Finally, discipline is a lifelong practice. It is not something you achieve once and then forget. It requires ongoing effort and attention. As you grow and evolve, your goals and challenges will change, requiring you to continually refine and strengthen your discipline. This process is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding, as it allows you to reach your full potential and create a life of purpose and fulfillment. Discipline is the thread that weaves through every aspect of personal growth, connecting your actions to your aspirations and enabling you to build a future that reflects your highest ideals. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and how you respond to it determines the trajectory of your growth and success. To face failure with courage is to see it not as an endpoint but as a stepping stone toward improvement. It is to understand that failure, while painful, is an essential component of progress. Many people fear failure, often to the point where it paralyzes them into inaction or compels them to take only the safest paths. However, true courage lies in embracing failure as a teacher and using it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. The first step in facing failure with courage is to change your perception of it. Failure is often seen as a reflection of inadequacy or incompetence, leading to feelings of shame or self-doubt. But failure is not a definitive statement about your worth or abilities. It is merely feedback. It reveals what didn't work, providing valuable insights that can guide your next steps. When you view failure through this lens, it becomes less daunting and more empowering. Instead of fearing it, you begin to see it as a necessary and even beneficial part of the journey. Courage in the face of failure begins with acknowledging it honestly. It is tempting to downplay or deny failures, either to protect your ego or to avoid confronting uncomfortable truths. However, this avoidance only serves to delay growth. When you face failure directly, you give yourself the opportunity to understand its causes and implications. This requires humility, as it often involves admitting mistakes or shortcomings. But it also requires self-compassion, recognizing that failure is a universal experience and not a personal indictment. Facing failure with courage also involves taking responsibility for your role in it. This does not mean blaming yourself unnecessarily or ignoring external factors that may have contributed. Rather, it means focusing on the aspects within your control and examining how your actions, decisions, or assumptions may have influenced the outcome. Taking responsibility empowers you to make changes and avoid repeating the same mistakes. It shifts your focus from what went wrong to what you can do differently, transforming failure into a catalyst for improvement. Courage in the face of failure is not about suppressing fear, but about acting despite it. Fear of failure is natural. It stems from the desire to avoid pain, rejection, or disappointment. However, allowing this fear to dictate your actions limits your potential and keeps you stuck in your comfort zone. Courage requires you to confront this fear, acknowledging its presence without letting it control you. It means taking risks, even when the possibility of failure looms large, because you recognize that the rewards of growth outweigh the temporary discomfort of setbacks. Failure often brings with it a sense of vulnerability. It exposes your flaws, weaknesses, and imperfections, making you feel exposed or inadequate. But vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a sign of strength. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to admit that you tried and fell short, and to open yourself up to criticism or judgment. This vulnerability is also what makes growth possible, as it allows you to connect with others, seek help or advice, and gain new perspectives. One of the most important aspects of facing failure with courage is resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks and keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. It is not about avoiding failure, but about bouncing back stronger each time you encounter it. Resilience requires a combination of mental toughness, emotional regulation, and a growth-oriented mindset. It involves viewing failure not as a definitive end, but as a temporary obstacle, one that can be overcome with persistence and effort. Learning from failure requires curiosity. When you approach failure with a curious mindset, you see it as an opportunity to gain knowledge and understanding. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective turns failure into a source of valuable information. It encourages you to analyze your actions, identify patterns, and discover areas for improvement. Curiosity transforms failure from a source of frustration into a tool for growth and innovation.